It is 9:02. So sorry if you've been waiting eagerly for a whole minute. It is very good to have you with us. Ooh, my t-shirt's got a hole in it as well. Those pesky moths. Well, it's all good. Perhaps it's because I'm so muscly that I'm just bursting out of my t-shirt. Whatever the reason, this is the t-shirt for tonight. And tonight is a super awesome magical session. And I'm really, so excited to share it with you because it is the thing that makes the difference. It is that if you've got this, everything else works better. Really, really simple. So I'm just going to plug in my charger here so you can see me and hear me for the duration. Let me know you are here. Let me know you're ready for the session. Are you in the hub? Are you on the Facebook Live? Wherever you are, it is beautiful to have you with us. I'm going to check the hub to see the hub activity. So, I mean, it appears to be no one on the Facebook at the moment. So, if you are there, obviously let me know because I'm gone. Oh dear God, they've all deserted me. Right in their hour of need. Who's on the hub? Who's on the hub? Ooh, we got some more comments on the hub. I am hopeful. All right, Edwin is here. Very nice indeed. Hello, Edwin. It is fantastic to have you with us. You've not deserted me. You're my steadfast husband. Hubby. That's better, isn't it? Karen is here. Good evening, Karen. Good evening, one and all. So we'll give it a couple of minutes. I've actually left my glass of water in the other room, so I'm going to go and get that. Bex, how are you? Let me know if that was the thing that I was meant to link you to. I've got a sense I've kind of said, yeah, I'll link that in the show notes, about 18 things, and then I've done like 3 of them. So if anyone can remember anything I've promised to link to, let me know. Well, obviously, if you can remember it, you've probably just gone and Googled it already. But if you haven't, then let me know, and I'll dig it out for you. I'm going to get my water. Give me 1 second. All right. Of course, the invitation is for you guys to do the same. Get your water. Oh, so good. Cam is here. Good evening, Cam. Good morning in your case, of course. Yeah. This evening, you're going to discover how Dave from our group is, for me, on a par with someone like Elon Musk or Richard Branson. So I'm excited to share that with you. So, by way of starting, we've done a fair bit of, getting a sense of what you stand for, what your brand might be. So what do you feel is the next step? What do you think would be the next step as we move forward? Cam is sitting in the car as his kids and wife are still asleep in the cabin. Nice. So Cam, have you gone on like a family holiday somewhere then? Are you somewhere in the wilds of Australia, dodging kangaroos and funnel web spiders and things? Are there actually that many funnel web spiders in Australia, or is it just this giant myth that everyone's so afraid of them? Have you got more chance of dying from swallowing a Malteser in the wrong way than you have of getting killed by a funnel web? Is it one of those? It's a soccer carnival. Okay. Could still be funnel web spiders at the soccer carnival. It's not unheard of. So cool. There are lots. So there are lots. Okay. So it's a legitimate fear that us who don't live in Australia have. Okay, good. I feel affirmed in my legitimate fear in that case. Perhaps I'll be a little more timid when I go there. Clint is on the session. Good evening, Clint. How are you? So this is going to be quite a practical session. If you have got the workbook, we'll be starting on the page where it says Your Millionaire's Mission. That's probably like backwards to you guys on the hub. You can probably see it okay. Your Millionaire's Mission, part 1. And then we'll be flipping to your Millionaire's Mission Part 2. Okay, so and if you haven't got the workbook, don't worry, I'll still read out the questions so you guys can kind of follow along as you need. Okay, alrighty. I reckon let's do this. Let's do this. It's going to be quite a practical session, so feel free to ask lots of questions. Just going to dive in, and yeah, really, really excited. So this evening on session number 26, can you believe it? I think we've got like 5 sessions left. So that's amazing. It's amazing that you've come on the journey thus far, and it's amazing that you know, what has already unfolded for people. Some of the things that you guys have all been sharing, just, you know, super awesome. So big up yourselves. Well done for making it this far. And so what have we been doing of late? We've been looking at some of the pillars of confidence, and you're definitely going to need it for this session, or for what this session is going to give you. And we've been looking at, you know, what is your kind of personal brand? So, you know, what do you stand for? What's your promise of value? And so that you've got the confidence when you are asked about what you do to be able to say, hey, this is what I do. Because, you know, I mean, have you ever had this? Someone says, well, what do you do for a living? And you're like, largely because that's a very dehumanizing question, right? You know, limiting a unique and brilliant soul out of 7 billion people to their job title. It's pretty dehumanizing. So yeah, it's this session is definitely for those of you who have ever had that challenge, or who would like to be able to articulate what you do more powerfully, so that you can kind of serve people more, get people taking more action. Okay, so we are going to be working on your pitch, because it's all very well knowing you know, what you stand for, what your brand is going to be, but if you can't actually say to someone, hey, this is what I'm up to, this is what we're doing, this is the vision, this is what we need. If you haven't got a way of actually saying, hey, I'm getting people on board, getting supporters to buy into your story, then you know, all the clarity and all the brand and all the confidence and stuff is it's going to be for nothing. Okay, and we're not really talking about sales here, but if you get your pitch right, you won't have to do any sales, because people will already be sold on you and on your vision. Does that make sense? So, you know, and this is the thing where you can really let your passion and your joy and your love shine through as well, is in your pitch. Okay. So yeah, I hope that's making sense. I hope you can see why this is important. And you know, I always love to kind of get kind of poetic with you guys. So a couple of things. One is, why is this so important? Well, because your pitch, which is, and just to clarify what a pitch is for those who aren't really sure, if you've ever watched Dragon's Den, when they're saying, hey, this is my thing and it's really great, please can you give me some money? That is a pitch. Okay. It's simply you stating who you are, what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what you need. Okay. So that is your pitch. And a great pitch can transform your longing into your legacy. Your pitch transforms your longing into your legacy. The thing you would love to do into the thing that the world knows you for. Okay. I've mentioned the guy a few times. I'll mention him again here because he's really big on it, really kind of super hot on it. A guy called Daniel Priestley. And he says, you get what you pitch for and you're always pitching. You get what you pitch for and you're always pitching. Which, you know, means that if, you know, so I think I spoke on one of the other sessions about the 16th phone call that I had to make so that one of the programs I was doing would take off. And, you know, if I'd stopped pitching, nothing would happen. Nothing would have happened. Okay. Michelle, it's great to have you with us whenever you get here. So fear thee not. I'm just going to switch over to a different view on here. Brilliant. So, and this also kind of goes a little bit deeper, which is your pitch is literally the framework that allows you to put in your core beliefs, the values, the things you want to be known for, what your products are, what your bigger vision is. And it gives you a really elegant way to articulate it to the world. And what that can do is it can help you to step out with even greater confidence. And that's the thing, is your thing might be the most amazing thing, but if you're not sold on you, then that's going to come across unless you've got a way of making it easy for yourself. And that's what a great pitch does. Okay. So I hope that's kind of established why this stuff is really important. All right. Why getting a great pitch is important. And look, you may not get it right first time. In fact, you definitely won't. But what you will have from this session is a framework that will allow you to keep polishing and polishing. Okay. So that, that is my aim for this session, is for you guys to have kind of understood, gone through the process, experience what the framework looks like, and be giving it a go. Be ready to kind of get off the session and call your best mate or speak to your partner and be like, hey, can you just listen to my pitch? It'll take a couple of minutes. Okay. So what will a pitch do? Well, it will move people's hearts and it will inspire them to take action, to buy into who you are and what you're doing. Okay. Some famous examples: Elon Musk, Richard Branson. So Richard Branson, I don't know if you guys know, but there's a very famous story where something like the Saturday before he was due to launch Virgin Atlantic, so Virgin Airlines, on the Monday morning, one of his major banks pulled their funding. Okay. And so he literally called every single person he knew and every single bank he knew and pitched the Virgin Atlantic vision to them. And at the last hour, someone came through with the money. So that tells you everything you need to know about the power of a pitch. It was like, at that point, all Branson had, whether you like him or not, whether you think he's a slimy weasel or whether you think he's a great guy, but, he certainly knew the power of his pitch, which was, unless I call and make this pitch, I am dead in the water. Okay, and we all know what happened next, obviously. But I want to bring it a bit closer to home to show you that this is not out of the realm of possibility in any way, shape, or form. So Dave, who's put through a few kind of, he's been inputting into the sessions, inputting some stuff into the group as well. Dave is creating a revolutionary surfboard. So a lot of surfboards, surfing is about being in nature. It's about this kind of connectedness, this oneness. And yet, for all that it's kind of meant to be about being in nature, you're sitting on a piece of really kind of nasty petrochemical most of the time. So Dave is trying to, there's some wooden boards already, but Dave has found a revolutionary way of designing it and manufacturing with certain wooden materials that's going to make it just an absolute game changer. And so Dave was on the course that I was running, that Kaylee was on, and a few others in the group have been on down here in Cornwall. We went through the pitch and I said, listen, here's the framework. And we kind of mapped it out. And I said, tomorrow, guys, I'd really love one of you to step up and just practice giving your pitch. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'd love to hear how you guys got on with it. Okay. And so I said, in the morning, anyone fancy it? And everyone's like, and Dave kind of goes, I think I can give it a go. And I was just like, yes, good effort. Taking a step in the direction of your inspiration. So what proceeded to then happen was mind-blowing, Did Dave's pitch go perfectly? No. For me, being super critical, there were a few too many details. He told me about like the levels of process that I didn't need to know. But he did it amazingly. He told me stories and he said things like, and that was the moment when I knew I'd been riding the wrong surfboard. And I was like, I was hooked. Yes, I like surfing. I'm totally shit at it. But even so, everyone else around the table was like, you can hear a pin drop. Because what Dave had done is he used this framework, he told great stories, and he made it really personal. And what happened that evening, my time is very precious. Not because I'm some dick and I've got so much going on. And no, I'm a young father and I'm trying to be the best young father I can be and best husband I can be and best servant to my community. So yes, my time is precious. But that evening I was straight on the computer researching the kinds of wood that Dave had been talking about in how he was going to design his surfboard. I was totally, and still am, totally bought into his vision on the basis of one slightly imperfect pitch. Okay. So that is the power. It moved my heart. It inspired me to action. Okay. So let's dive straight into this. I want to make sure that you guys really get the fullness of this session. So first page is I'm not sure I numbered the pages, but it is in the workbook where it says your millionaire's mission, and it's the page which, it's a two-part pager, looks like this, your millionaire's mission. So the first part is knowing your industry, and that simply is, you know, where do you want to be doing stuff? And at this point, guys, very important to note, okay, don't worry if there's loads of things you want to be doing, like, you know, I want to have you know, I want to write children's books, I want to design awesome like posters, I want to you know, help activists to share their message visually. You know, don't worry if there's a lot of things you want to do at this stage. Simply play through the process with like just one thing that you'd love to do, okay? Because then you'll see how you can map the process out for all the other things, and then ultimately how they can all kind of link together. All right, so and if you've just got a piece of paper and a pen, cool, I'll just talk you through the questions. We'll move through this one fairly quickly because I think you guys you're fairly clued up, so I don't need to kind of spend a lot of time, you know, giving you definitions and stuff. So first question, in what industry would you like to build a business? Very simple. So it could be, you know, some examples: dance, fitness, sport, music, surfboards. And then what niches, so what specific areas within that industry could you focus on and would you enjoy focusing on? Again, don't worry if this is just like you're thinking, oh, just go with one, go with a niche. Like, let's go with it, because here's what the kind of general conventional wisdom will tell you about how you approach building a business. You should get something that appeals to as many people as possible. So, you know, have as broad a thing as possible, because then you'll get the biggest market share. And it really, really, really doesn't work like that. It really doesn't work like that, particularly in this new story age when we're so digitally connected, when there's, you know, when there's even kind of groups on Facebook dedicated to fruit sticker appreciation, right? So the way it works these days is you pick a niche and you absolutely nail that, because with any niche these days, because there's nearly 3 billion people online, every niche has got enough customers in there, enough supporters in there for your mission to actually see you create a very good living from that one initial niche. Then when you have nailed that one niche, you've gained credibility, not just for that niche, but for the whole industry in which that niche is connected. And then you build out from there into all the other areas within that industry that you feel you want to go into. So great. So, you know, Cam's overall industry is sport and leisure. His niche is football. And I'd invite Cam to even, you know, to go even a little bit deeper than that into his niche, because football is still a very wide niche, right? Brilliant. Fantastic. So Karen's got a good one. Wellbeing and self-esteem for people with impairments. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay. And so that, you know, that's fantastic, because, you know, not just, you know, the well-being and the self-esteem, that limits it even more. So I really like it, really like it. Good, 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 Karen. Well done. Okay. And then just pick a niche you're going to choose. Pick a niche you're going to choose. Grassroots football. Brilliant, brilliant, Cam. Okay, cool. So nice. So within your kind of support, or the base of your potential supporters, potential customers, call them what you want, there's going to be a pain. There's going to be a pain. So this is the next page, by the way. So what pain are your supporters experiencing? And, you know, another way of looking at that is, you know, what's frustrating them? What can't they do that you want to help them do? Okay. I'm just going to check the hub, make sure there's no questions on there. So what is the pain? And I'll use the example here. You know, Harry, who's been on some of the sessions, he runs a company that helps young people get football trials. And his promise of value is that if they're good enough, he'll get them scouted by a professional club. So the pain of his customers is that they can't get scouted by a professional club. That's their pain. Okay. So what is the pain? All right, so nice. So Cam, at grassroots football level, the pain is financial restrictions. Okay, brilliant. So the next question then comes, what is causing that pain? What is causing the pain? And again, don't worry too much if there's 3 or 4 different pains that or problems that your supporters or potential supporters are experiencing. Focus on one. Let's just roll through the process with one so you can see how it works. Okay. So yeah, what is causing the pain? And in the example of Harry and his football trials, so the pain is they can't get scouted. Well, why can't they get scouted? Well, maybe because of where they live, so geographical location. Maybe because they've been told they're too small, or maybe because there's a lack of opportunity. They, for whatever reason, they just haven't had the chance to show their goods yet. Okay, so what are the causes of that pain? Okay. Checking the old hub. Edwin on the hub is loving my tatty t-shirt. Yeah, there's a story behind this t-shirt which I will give you. Cool. So Karen, frustration, having people do things for them. Often people get forgotten or don't listen or not listen to them. Great, you've got some good pains. Well, carers don't. So you're saying carers don't think that these your customers can speak for themselves, and therefore they speak for them, and that makes the problem worse. Love it, love it, love it. Brilliant. So Karen, you're really going to get some great clarity on this, I'm feeling. So what causes the pain? So cost rising. Australia is a bottom-up funding system. Brilliant, love it, love it. So you've got, so fantastic. Got bottom-up funding system and little real value given. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Good. So Edwin, just seeing on your question on the hub, when I polish up this course, it will be selling, I would think, for about £148. Is answer to your question. Obviously, they won't get the benefits of being here with my tatty t-shirts and my live good looks and brilliant mind, but yeah, that's what I'm intending. So to use Harry's example, so what's the pain? Can't get scouted by a pro club. What causes the pain? Where they live, the geographical location, their size, or lack of opportunity. So how are you going to solve the pain? How are you now going to solve the pain? So in Harry's thing, well, he offers football trials from Scotland right the way down to Plymouth that are attended by semi-pro and professional scouts from real professional clubs. Okay, so how are you going to solve the pain? Brilliant. So Karen, how are you going to solve the frustration, the pain? How are you going to help them do things for themselves? How are you going to ensure they don't get forgotten? How are you going to allow them to speak for themselves? All of these things. Cam, how are you going to solve the issue of a bottom-up funding system? Very true, Cam. Those trials that have already happened in Australia. And as you're noting down how you're going to solve the pain, just make a note of how you're going to be rewarded as well. Because it may well be, for example, that how you're going to solve the pain for the end user will be different to how you're actually going to be rewarded. So let me give you a couple of examples. So Karen, for example, your clients, those with impairments who need their self-esteem and well-being developed, it may actually be that they're not the ones paying for it. Perhaps it could be like if they're in a care home or something, it might be the people who run the care home who are actually going to be paying you. Okay. And Cam, likewise, if you're ultimately focusing on grassroots football, whilst you will be serving the smallies, it'll be the biggies, i.e. the parents, who will actually be rewarding you, paying you as well. Okay. So just at the same time as making a note of how you're going to solve their pain, make a note of how you're going to be paid as well. Okay. Or how you'd like to be paid. And, you know, you can always also stick in a few ones there around, you know, what are you going to benefit from that's non-monetary as well, if that helps to kind of get clarity on that as well. Big up, Kaylee. How's it going? Very good to see you. Well, see your name arrive on the Facebook feed. That's, you know, as close as I can get to seeing you. And a little tiny thumbnail as well. Cool. So Cam's got his lockdown. All right, so when you've noted down, you know, how you're going to solve the pain and, you know, how you're going to be rewarded, then head over, because that's, you know, that is really, we've done some kind of great groundwork there. And, you know, even already, you know, I hope you can see that this is, you've already got the makings of a very powerful pitch already just there. So you can say, you know, hi, my name's Cameron, and, you know, I focus on building a new vision for grassroots football, because I find that, you know, a lot of young people just cannot access soccer, even though they might be great, because of financial restrictions. And, you know, it's like, what frustrates me so much is that in so many other countries, you know, football is funded from the top down, whereas here we have a grassroots bottom-up funding procedure, which means that actually so many good players slip through the net, and there's very little real value created. So what we're proposing to do is to actually work with corporate entities to give them some outstanding, like never seen before in Australia, team building experiences, and, you know, just general kind of bonding sessions that are really going to enhance their team cohesion, their productivity. And we're going to use the funds that we generate through delivering an outstanding service to corporations to actually directly fund a more financially fair vision for grassroots football in Australia. So can you see, like, literally, I've just made that up using the framework of this and what Cam has written down, and already a very simple way to put together a very powerful pitch, or a semi-powerful pitch. Obviously, Cam would do it way better than me. Fantastic, nice. Cool. So Karen, I'm loving it. So you're going to be an example of someone who you're kind of, yeah, it's almost like you're the almost like a leader or the example that they can follow, right? But so also be quite specific in terms of the kind of the products or the offerings you're gonna give. So that when you come to speak to someone who's going to be paying you, you can say, hi, so, you know, we do this and we do this and we do this, and the benefits for that is this, this, and this, so that you know, and so what you can then say is, you know, I know this works because actually I'm standing in front of you speaking to you right now. That's how I know this works. So yeah, so I love the kind of the clarity of the picture you've got. Really make sure you bring in some specifics about what you're going to offer and how it's going to benefit, because what that does is it gives some facts that people can latch onto and go, right, I see, this is why this is valuable, I'm going to pay you for it. Okay. Cool. So already, yeah, you, like, Cam agrees, thankfully, a bit shit if you didn't, that, you know, that's already a very powerful thing, and you could just use that already. And a lot of people say that's how you do your kind of pitch. You have the problem, how you're going to solve the problem, etc., right? We're going to take it a level deeper. We're going to use a lot of those answers, but we're now going to kind of take it to more of a kind of, let's say, someone who you meet, you happen to chat to someone at a bus stop or whatever. How can you have that person who you chat to at the bus stop go home tonight when they get home and speak to their partner and go, you'll never believe, who I spoke to at the bus stop today. It was amazing. I never knew there were people like this out there. Okay. So what we're going to now do is take some of those answers you've just given and use them and also develop them into what I call your iconic pitch. And I call it your iconic pitch because it was also inspired and influenced by a guy called Mike Harris, who pitched into existence Mercury Telecom, which was bought out by BT. Egg Financial Services, which were massive, like 10 years ago or so. And there's one of the major ones, which off the top of my head it escapes me, that he's also been involved in as well. But I think he's managed to pitch into existence 3 very valuable to consumers, very valuable, like billion-pound businesses, basically. And in all of this, please don't kind of get the sense that it's just all about the money. But what the people saying, hey, I'm going to support this with money shows is that you've got a successful pitch, okay? And ultimately, if we are going to create a better world, a new story, to help this new story emerge and grow, we're going to need, because right now our world works with money. That's how it works right now. You can fight it and struggle, or you can accept it and soar, okay? That's just a simple fact. And I don't say that as someone who's perfect. I say that as someone who's accepted that fighting it doesn't work anymore. And I'm still, I've got my wings and they're flapping pretty well. But I'm yet to be crossing the Atlantic. I'm just crossing the English Channel with my wings right now. And that's fine, because wherever you are right now is perfect, okay? But, when you develop this really powerful pitch, it will move people to support you, not just with money, but with time, energy, and effort as well. But money is something we cannot discount in this. So that's why I use examples of people like Branson or Mike Harris, because the level of finance they were able to access showed how powerfully they were able to pitch, okay? So we're heading over to Your Millionaire's Mission Part 2 in the workbook. Ria, if you are still watching, it's fantastic to have you on the session. I hope you are well. So who are you? And essentially, when you say, hi, I'm Cam, hi, I'm George, the next words that come out of your mouth need to be something that give people a reason to listen to you. So Karen, you have got a perfect one ready to roll. Hi, my name's Karen Gibbs. And, 5 years ago, I was in the same position that your care home, patients are in, right? Let me know if that's accurate. Straight away, why are you worth listening to? Because you're the leader. You've proven what is possible, right? So you could also ping in some qualifications. Cam, you might be like, hi, my name's Cameron. I'm a former PE teacher who also has, spent the last 10 years running a soccer academy. And what we're now doing is we're trying to revolutionize it, okay? So yeah, who are you, and why are you worth listening to? So depending on who I'm speaking to, I might say, my name's George Hardwick. I'm a poet, and I'm an author of a book called Creative Uprising, which is a handbook for how to make a living and make a difference doing what you love. So straight away, not trying to be a dick, but the fact that I have written a book, like lots of people have, but not lots of people have as well. There's still lots of people who've not written a book, so it still stands out. Not quite in the same way it used to, but it's still, oh shit, you wrote a book, So, who are you? And you may also, you may mention, something along the lines of your promise of value. You may want to mention in that, who are you? What are you doing that is bigger than money? What are you doing that is bigger than money? So, I'm George Hardwick, and, I'm connecting with you because, I've started this movement called Creative Uprising, and it's about us as a human species trying to tell a better story of life on Earth, on this planet. So straight away, you're like, well, if you're interested in creating a better life on this planet, you're interested already, right? So yeah, what are you doing that's bigger than money? You could mention, what you try to do is your promise of value. And then in the pitch, you're going to go further into it, okay? So just note down a few bits on who are you, why are you worth listening to, based on some of the things I've said there. What are you doing that's bigger than money? What's your promise of value? Let's check the old hub again. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So Karen, you've got a really clear vision there. Nice. So this is going to work perfectly for when we get to the bit of the pitch. So loving it, loving it, loving it. Good, good, good. So who are you? Answering the question, why are you worth listening to? Then we go to, the next question is, what's the problem? What's the problem? And, another way of saying that is, what's the pain? What's the pain that's going on? But this is, I guess, kind of a slightly bigger one as well. So, so hi, my name's Cameron. I run the SOAR Football Academy. And at the moment, we're working on revolutionising grassroots football because the fact, our bottom-up funding system is just totally destroying the game of football in Australia. And actually, when you consider that it's the biggest participation sport or the fastest growing participation sport, you have got people essentially who are climbing a rotten tree. And I don't want anyone to fall out of that tree and hurt themselves. Crazy metaphors, but maybe it works. So you could link this, what's the problem, to some of your core beliefs on your why, what, how. What do you believe? Well, I fundamentally believe that we need a new story for life on this earth. This is what my problem. Because what we have at the moment is this dominating story that depends on violence, fear, and scarcity. And as a result, look where we are as a species. Suicide is the biggest killer of men under 45. So all of these things are part of the problem, linking into the old story. So who are you? What's the problem? And then we head into, what's the solution? If we've identified the problem, what is the solution? And here, you're going to do two things. You're going to educate people about the solution in general, okay? And then you're going to speak about your solution particularly. So the two words I use here are educate and elevate. So educate people generally about the situation and elevate your particular solution to give it a bit more focus, okay? Brilliant. So Karen, you've got, so brilliant, so perfect. Who are you? Hi, I'm Karen, Karen Gibbs. And, I used to be in a care home and now I'm actually independent, albeit with some support. And listen, my experience has taught me that one of the biggest problems people with impairments are facing is that people think they're broken and that they need fixing. And, my own experiences tell me that whenever I was treated as a whole human being who was already perfect, actually so much more was achieved. So I'm really on a mission to bring a new way of building the well-being and self-esteem of people with impairments. And this is so important because actually overall, if we can do this, Karen, I'm shifting into okay, I haven't lived in a care home. Okay, cool. So sorry about that, Karen. But I hope that doesn't undermine what we're exploring, right? So you say, so my own experiences of trying to live independently and, really connecting with the importance of well-being and self-esteem have shown me that actually we really need to approach how we look after people with impairments far better than we currently do. And therefore, so what you've done there, you've educated them generally. You've said, listen, we have got to treat people as if they're completely perfect, not broken and need fixing, right? And then you can so you've educated them. Then you're going to elevate your solution. So, what I'm currently working on is a series of, let me just flick down to the comments, a series of rooms where people with impairments can come and experience some profound transformation in their well-being and their self-esteem. There's going to be an exercise room because I believe in exercise, not physiotherapy. There's going to be a room for pet therapy because the benefits of emotional support from pets is very, very well documented. And there's also going to be a quiet and calm space because the benefits of meditation and massage, I could stand here all week and talk about how amazing they are, right? So can you see, using the live example of Karen there, that she's identified the problem, that people are treated like they're broken and need fixing. And then she said, actually, the solution needs to be a very different approach. So the general education. And then she said, here's my specific thing, my exercise room, my pet therapy room, etc. Okay. Good. So let me just see Cams. Cool. So Karen, let me know if that kind of, give you a sense of where we're going with this has been useful so far. Found that talented footballers, as well as those who just love the game, are missing out on opportunities due to our funding system. Good. Good. Nice. We're no children until good. Okay, love it. Fantastic. So now, at this point, and a great thing when you're talking about the solution, if you can bring in words like redefining or revolutionizing, okay, it gets people excited because everyone wants to be a part of something that is a profound change, because our souls are calling out for profound change. So when you use words like, as Dave did with like, I'm trying to revolutionize surfing. I was redefining the board I was using. All of these things they're like trigger words for us to get excited about. Okay. So we now shift. You've basically stated in your solution. It should have got them excited, right? I'm excited reading Karen's vision. I'm excited by the clarity she has, and phrases like people are treated like they're broken and need fixing. Fuck, that's so powerful, so moving, right? So already I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking on board, right? So then we shift to, what do you want? What do you want? So here, and also based on, I actually need to backtrack. I need to kind of pause and backtrack a tiny bit here, which is all of this pitching stuff that you'll be doing, all of this speaking is the second stage. The first stage is you listen first to whoever you're speaking to, because if you just launch in with your pitch and you say, hi, I'm Cameron, and I want, I'd like to speak to the head of HR about doing some team building for you. Well, fuck, the guy might be like, yeah, no problem, I'll put you in touch with him. And you're not realizing you're speaking to the fucking CEO, right? So this is why this entire pitching process, if you can, comes after you've already found out about what the passions of the person you're speaking to are. And I use that word very deliberately, because if Cam just said, hey, what do you do for, you start speaking, hey, what do you do for a living? And the guy's like, oh, I'm a plumber. Cam might, I hope he wouldn't, but he might think, oh, maybe I'm not going to get too much out here, However, if Cam goes, hey, what are your passions? And the guy goes, oh, mate, I love soccer. Probably did it in a better Australian accent than that. Then Cam will be like, great, well, I run a football academy and we're really currently trying to revolutionize grassroots soccer. The plumber might be then like, hey, speak to this guy. I do his plumbing. He's the CEO of Megacore, right? So that is why the listening first has got to happen, okay? So if you've listened, when you then get to the what do you want stage, so you've educated them about your solution, you've elevated the power of your solution. When you then get to the what do you want stage, you have in mind a way that they might be able to help you, okay? So you ask, be specific. So Karen, say you're speaking to someone who's a property developer, right? You might speak to them and so you might give them that first bit of, this is who I am, this is the problem, this is the solution, this is my solution. And what I want, well, I'm really looking for a partner who can help me set up a space that's got 4 rooms. One for exercise for people with impairments, one for pet therapy, and one for meditation and massage. And so I know you're in the property development game, and I'm not asking you to do it. I'm simply saying at the moment I'm really trying to find the right partner or someone who knows what my next step could be. And so that's why I'm kind of asking you, is there anything you could suggest? And you wait for their answer and be like, brilliant, whatever they say, thank you, and you promise to act on it. And then we then shift to the bigger vision. Thank you, because I'm really grateful you've helped me to kind of get some sense of my next step, because I really see that this could be a revolution in how people with impairments are cared for. And if we do it well, I believe not only is it going to change people's lives, it's going to save the government a huge amount of money that could be spent, educating, a whole new generation of people, right? So I kind of jumped ahead a little bit there, but I said, what do you want? Be specific. And So be specific and let them know why you want it. And actually, letting them know why you want it allows you to shift into the final part of the process, which is saying, what is the bigger vision? And the aim of that final piece is to leave people excited. And I said, you know, you meet someone at the bus stop and they go home and you'll never believe who I spoke to. This guy called Cameron, he's working on like revolutionizing grassroots soccer. And he's got this really clear plan of how, you know, no child is going to pay more than $10 a week for soccer. Or, you know, I spoke to this lady called Karen, and, you know, it's just so amazing what she's doing for people with impairments. And, you know, she told me that actually she is now able to do this and this because of her approach. And she says that in the space of 3 weeks, she could totally change someone with impairments' life. So that's what the power of having this final part where you talk about the bigger vision is. It leaves people excited for the future. And it, you know, it leaves them hopefully going and starting to share what you're up to, right? They become a supporter. All right. So, you know, I'm looking at the time and I realize, yeah, you know, we've cracked on. So really well done for kind of, for staying with it. And, you know, let me know, how has that been? Is there anything where you're not quite sure how to use the process? So you simply goes from, who are you? Why are you worth listening to? You know, what's the problem? And I can add in there as well, you know, you maybe speak about, you know, what's the problem and how does it affect a person? How does it affect people? And how does it affect the planet? That's another good way of looking at it. What's the solution? Remember, educate and elevate. Educate about the solution generally and elevate your particular solution. Then ask for what you want. You know, what do you want? Do you want a meeting with someone? Do you want money? Do you want a referral? And let them know why you want it. And as a part of letting them know why you want it, let them know what is the bigger vision. You know, what story can you tell that's going to get people excited, get them, you know, wanting to take action for you, get them wanting to kind of say, oh, speak to this guy and I know he can help. And, you know, mention my name, say I've given you my card or whatever, right? So that's the process. And I can see already, you know, Cam, you're already there. Karen, you're already getting there as well. It's like just, you know, now all it is polishing. It's just polishing what you've got, okay? So really, really well done. Let me just check the hub, see if there's any questions and comments coming through on there. So yeah, you know, this has been a full-on session, right? But I hope it hasn't been overwhelming because I hope we've gone step by step and helped you just try to map it out as you go, all right? So yeah, but any questions, post them up now, let me know. Otherwise, I'll let you get on your way. Yeah, don't let the tatty t-shirt fool you. It's very, very deep session, this one. Cool. And listen, you know, once you kind of start to get to know this, listen, you know, the reason I was able to zip through the example of Harry's football trials one is because about 5 times a day when I'm in the office, I hear either Harry or Kai, who's one of the guys who works for him, just literally go through that same, it's almost like a script, but it's not forced because all they're doing is passionately and powerfully articulating what they do and why they do it. And, you know, the invitation is for you to do the same, okay? So, guys, really, really well done. Tomorrow, we are going to discover the secret sauce of sales. So, you know, I hope you can see when you get this right, this pitch, you know, selling is going to take care of itself. However, we cannot discount the power of sales as well. So I want to really make sure we get a very powerful little short, sharp session on that tomorrow as well. Okay. So stay tuned. Excuse me. I can't wait to share that with you. And obviously, if you've got any questions, anything that comes up, do hit me up, Facebook, phone call, email, whatever it is. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow, if not before. Lots of love. Go well.